Skull and welcome back to Valkyrie's Art Corner. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And make sure to hit that bell to get notification when my new video comes out. Today is going to be more of like a review slash painting. I received in the mail a sample kit from Golden. And what comes in it is like this little booklet that kind of shows you their products, what they're used for, their colors, and all that fun stuff. It's a really interesting read, and it also tells you like where their suppliers are, that pretty much anything that you need paint wise or art wise they can provide. So that's a nice little thing to have in there so you can get more information from. Also, it came with little samples in here. This one right here is a high flow color. It's like a magenta color, and it has an ink-like consistency that lends itself to a wide range of tools like staining, leveling, calligraphy, refillable markers, and mixed media. So that's one's very interesting. And then this one right here is the open slow drying color, Titan Green. It's softer consistency than Heavy Body, which is what I normally paint with. It's great for blending, portraiture, plain, and printmaking. And this one's a Heavy Body color blue. It's known for its smooth consistency, intense color, and a lot of professional painters use this. And then this right here is the Golden Light Molding paste. It's a lightweight, flexible paste that can be mixed with colors for texture paints. Like if you want to do like a grass or tree leaves and you want them to actually feel it, that's what that's for. And this one's called regular gel gloss. It makes ways to build texture and is great for extending the paint, so it makes it last longer and then it dries clear. And then this fluid color yellow, it equals the same brightness of the Heavy Body one, but will flow and making it ideal for like fine details. So instead of dipping your brush into water, you can use it to make details. But this is what the box looks like when they send it to you. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to be painting with the blue and the yellow from the sample kit, and I already own my own Golden colors because I freaking love this brand. So, and we're going to do that today so we can kind of show what it is, and all the colors I'm going to be using are from the Golden brand. So we're going to paint on this little, it's a flat canvas, so it's not a stretched canvas. And I'm just going to take a wide brush and put some of the blue out so I can start on it. Pretty much what we're going to do is a sunset with a silhouetted background, which means that it's shadowed out or black, of like a mountain range with some trees on it. So, and this is also going to show you how to do a painting from start to finish. You want to start off with this blue, since it's going to be sunset, so the blue is going to naturally be darker than what you would see like during the day. And I need to make this a little darker. And then the blue will actually go down a little ways more, so that way it can meet up into the other colors. And there we go. We'll just mix that in and make it a little darker. And I'm using a side to side, going from one end of the canvas to the other. That way it gives it a nice even spread instead of having like stopped color right in the middle of it. And it will show up in your painting. See, as I did there, it'll show up in your painting. It shows where you stopped and where you go. So you can always fix that by running more paint into it. And this next layer down here, I added in some white to kind of blend down the blue towards the other colors. And then mix that. And then what I want to do is, my paint lid was stuck. Sorry. And then we'll actually pull out some of the magenta that I had, and we're going to mix that in to make it kind of a purple. So it's going to blend right in with that. And I'm going to kind of pull it up. And what I'm doing here is I'm actually keeping my brush wet so it makes it blend better how it's supposed to. And then it just makes it smooth on, and then you just keep kind of building on and just blending up into the color before. And you'll, like I said, you'll want to keep that paint wet to kind of blend it in how it's supposed to. And it's still showing up kind of blue, but it's okay. We'll eventually get down to mixing in the other colors. And then we'll just keep adding red or white or any color to it to kind of either make it lighter or darker, pretty much any color that you want, because sunsets are kind of interesting. So I'm mixing some of the red and blue in with the orange to kind of give it like a dark kind of orange color. Sorry, I bumped my camera. I didn't really want it that dark, so what I'm going to do is mix a lighter color of it and then kind of blend it upward. There we go. And I still got a little bit of blue on my brush, and see, that's why I say in some of my other videos that you gotta rinse your brush. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my finger, and since the paint is still all wet, just kind of run my finger up through it to blend it in. And it doesn't matter if some of the color mixes with it, because like sunsets can show up however you want them. I'm gonna add a little bit of light down here to kind of start going into the other colors. And then toward the bottom of it, I'm going to mix in a little bit of yellow and orange together to kind of give it that light orange. And then I'm going to blend some of that upward to go into it. I still have a little bit of blue in my brush, but that's okay. It's starting to show up light how I want it. And then kind of go down a little bit more, and as you can tell, it's getting lighter. And I'm going to wipe off the excess paint so that way I don't drag it up through too much. And then I'm going to go more into straight yellow to blend up and see how that blends in really nice. And then I'm going to move my brush up a little bit through to kind of make the colors blend a little bit nicer, to make it look a little bit more even. So that way there's not such a separation in color. And you can do this at any point if you want more blue in it, or orange in it, or yellow, or even pink, because pink shows up in there. And that way you can just kind of, and I'm going to drag some of it back down. And then I'm going to add a little white into my yellow to kind of give it a lighter tone. And this one I'm actually going to rinse my brush because I don't need to bring that darker tone down into it. So I need as light a yellow as possible. And this, what I'm about to finish up on, is what's called your background. And you'll need to always do your background first in a painting before you continue on with anything that's like the focus of the painting or anything like that. Oops, I had some blue, but I can always fix that. Just add some more white in to blend that out. There we go. And I'm going to go all the way to the bottom. And that's okay, because if it shows up with a little bit of blue or anything down there, it's perfectly fine, because that's where the silhouette is going to go. And I'm keeping the paint wet, and I'm not going to give it a chance to dry. So like I said, I'm doing a wet on wet technique. And then I'm going to really wash off my brush right here. Otherwise, if I let it dry with any paint on it, my brush will be ruined. It will just get super hard, and it'd be really obnoxious to paint with. It won't get the smooth texture that I just got on here. I'm going to put my brush away. So yeah. But it gives it that really nice, pretty color once the paints start to dry up a little bit. They'll actually kind of change color slightly. So now what I'm going to do is I'm still going to take my light yellow that I had down here, but put almost all white in. And I'm going to make the setting sun just right here. This is what's called the middle ground. So this is what you do after you do your background. You kind of do whatever's going to be in between the actual photo or the painting you're doing, and what's called the foreground, which is you'll see here in just a minute once I get done painting the sun. So you can kind of just go through and make it how you want it. It could be a more orange sun, just any color that you would like to. I just picked this color because it stands out really well against it. And just touch it up and make it solid. And just add a little bit more, or yeah. I'm going to change my mind. I think it looks good on that. And now I'm going to add some black. See, I didn't have to rinse my brush off too much since I'm going to put black. And then this is what's called the foreground. So you're going in front of everything, and this is what would be, if you were to take as a photo, it'd be the thing that's closest to you. So the mountain area that I'm doing down here, again, it's called the foreground. The sun's the middle, and then the background, of course, is the sunset colors. So that way you can add some character to it, and just I'm going to color this in solid black, because since if you notice at sunset when you look outside, everything seems to be really black against the sky except for where the sun's at. So I'm going to completely paint this in, and the colors on this from the Golden brand, it goes on really well. It's nice and smooth, and it doesn't dry out quickly. It goes on really smooth, and it's one of my favorite brands to use on that. And I mix other paints in with it as well if I'm short on paint, but other than that, Golden and Liquitex are my favorite. And then I'm going to make some little trees, so that way it's just not a mountaintop. And I'm just doing that with just kind of like lightly pressing the tip of the brush on and just going back and forth, like how you would do in like your Christmas tree drawings with your pencil. You can pretty much do identical to the trees. And I'm going to take this all the way down just like that. And as you can tell, it's starting to come together. I'm just going to make this tree a little bit bigger, a little bit more noticeable. Okay. And then I'm going to add a second one, but this one I'm going to just draw the main trunk and do the exact same thing. I probably should have done that on that first tree, but it will turn out the exact same way. So whatever method you use to make a tree, go right ahead and use it. It's your painting. And I'm going to draw a smaller one here to show distance. So this one would technically be a middle 4, but since it's in the foreground, you can just do it right up there and it won't matter too much. And then one more tree right here. And then that is your sunset painting using only Golden paints. Like I said before, fantastic paints. They're really bright in color. They come in a huge variety, and they're just fantastic paints. I highly recommend everyone, and they're reasonably priced. So what you'll want to do at the end of your painting is either sign it, or if you have a logo, you can paint that on there to show, hey, this is me, this is what I painted. So that way people know who you are. And I'm going to go with yellow since it stands out really well against the black, and people will know it's me because I do the double wings. And then after you're done with that, the painting is finished, unless you see something else wrong with it. So thank you for watching, and remember to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell, and we'll do more of these later on. And thanks for watching, guys. Thanks.